Well, good Thursday morning, or as we like to think of it, Friday Eve. We're at 3 minutes past 10 o'clock, 79 degrees right now at the KRIM studios on West Frontier. And thank you for joining us for another edition of Community Spotlight on KRIM. And this morning, we're talking about the Rim Country Regional Chamber of Commerce. With us in the studio, we have Heather Oberg. She's the president of the chamber. Also, from Wild Wealth Management, Michael Obanov is with us as well. And first of all, Heather, maybe it'd be best just to get you to explain. Now, Michael's just coming on board.
Yes, he is. He is a new member. He started last month. Last night was his second official board meeting.
So a seasoned veteran.
But we're super excited to have him on board. He's filling in for a board member that had to move away suddenly. So
Right.
just for the rest of the year. But then we're hoping he's going to get voted in and be with us solid next year.
Very cool.
So.
Well, that's exciting. And now, Michael, you're with Wild Wealth Management. So, I mean, you help people figure out the best investments and things like that for their financial future.
Yep, financial planning, all that, investments,
Yeah, so-
anything related to basically money.
And this is something that you got a degree in and you went to college to study and all that kind of good stuff?
Yeah, I've done this since I got out of school, so
Right.
yeah. I was down in the valley for a little while, moved up here, had the wonderful opportunity to get away from 110, so
Yeah.
took advantage of it.
I was born and raised in Phoenix. Don't miss the heat a bit. I hear you completely. Well, welcome to Rim Country. You've been here about a year now.
Thank you. Yeah, almost a year exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the new baby.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And a newborn.
So I guess you don't really have any spare time then.
Yeah.
They're keeping you running. Now, things are always, the chamber, a lot of different things going on with the chamber now, and you've got a couple other transitions that are happening as well. So a lot of interesting restructuring or retailoring going on right now.
Absolutely. And we have, I want to mention, we have a really fantastic board. I'm going to start right there because I think it all kind of starts at the top.
Sure.
And each and every one of us is passionate about the businesses in this community. We're not in it to be, we're not involved as board members to promote ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We're involved as board members to be the businesses that help promote the community. We're really out there to help. There are some kind of big changes happening around with us and also at the town, which we have nothing to do with, but
Right.
separate and equal. But there's just a lot of personnel changes. But we are excited overall in the trajectory that we're on. And now that we kind of have a direction that we know we want to head to, we can bring the people in that are going to be perfectly tailored for what our plans are.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, that's what we're super excited about. And I'm going to put a little plug here right now that we are actively looking for, and this is just going to be a part-time position, 20 hours to possibly 30 hours a week for an ED position, which is primarily going to be that out front and face position. That's going to be the one that's going to be driving up the excitement for the chamber, be the face and just a lot of energy. But we're not going to mire that person down in a lot of with the areas that they're not interested in, like administrative and stuff like that. We're going to have somebody who specializes and is excited about that.
I love
You
it.
know,
Yeah.
so
Well, that'll
yeah.
keep everybody really happy.
That's what we're really working on, because we really feel like just having one person in charge of everything was just too much of a strain on anyone.
Right.
So we're going to just kind of split that job up into different parts so that each person can just do what they specialize in.
Gotta love it. That makes sense. And excuse me. There's always a lot going on at the chamber, and I know one of the things that's coming up is you guys have been doing this for a lot of years. The Business Expo coming up.
Yes, well, the expo is a bit of a pivot. We were doing for many years, actually 26 years, I think we did the business showcase.
Right.
And each year that showcase kind of got amped up. Costs went up every year.
Sure.
We ended up getting to the point where we were charging $350 we had to charge in order for you just to have a booth.
And that
in this
eliminates
event.
the ability for a lot of small businesses maybe to even get involved.
Absolutely. So, and this was something that Brenda this was her brainstorm last year. This was to team up with the high school, specifically with DECA, and we hold the event at the high school, so we don't have the cost of venue to throw in there. We can also offer we're offering giving the DECA kids a scholarship. So half of your booth rental, which is now only $100 now that we're having it at the school,
Right.
half of your booth rental goes towards that scholarship. The other half just covers some of our expenses outside of the venue that we have, insurance and electricity, whatever. So that's gonna be having October 23rd. Right now we've been collecting sponsors. We have some really fantastic ones. We're very excited to have them on board. Anybody else who's interested in sponsoring, you also get there's a $500 level, $250 level. You get a booth included in that if you want it. And part of those proceeds also go towards the scholarship. Then we'll be opening it up to the full booth rentals. Whoever wants to get a booth, sometime towards the end of next week or beginning of the following week, we should have that all set up. If you want more information, you can always go on to rimcountrychamber.com.
Right.
And there should be more information there, or reach out to us, stop by and talk to us. We're always there.
Well, again, it's coming up October 23rd, so you got a little over a month to get yourself ready. Is there going to be a theme to the booths this year and that kind of thing? Or?
Yeah, no, we don't really do a theme. What we call it is a flea market.
Oh,
So
there you go.
I mean, it's you can come out there, you can sell your wares, you can just promote yourself, and do that sort of thing. It is very close to Halloween.
There you
So
go.
we do encourage people to bring candies. I did notice last year, chocolate candies melted a lot. So you may want to think more along the lines of Starburst and Skittles.
Feel free to drop off the candy, the chocolate candies here at the KRIM Studios,
There
and
you
we'll make
go.
sure that they go to deserving people.
No waste there.
Michael, when it comes to your perspective on this, especially when you're working with wealth management and stuff, I would assume that, you picked up very quickly on the importance for local businesses to be involved with the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, absolutely. That was one of the reasons I wanted to get involved, was just see what getting
Mhm.
acclimated in the businesses that are up here, and kind of how we can benefit them. So the expo is obviously a great opportunity. Other ways that businesses can get their name out there is our breakfasts or luncheons that we have once a month. Businesses get the opportunity to speak in front of the chamber members that are there. And obviously breakfast and lunch, which everyone has to eat, so it's a good opportunity to get your name out there.
Well, and networking is so key, and with these, like you say, the breakfast, things like that, you have a chance to do some networking with other business people in town, and with the the whole expo, you get a chance to do networking with the general public. So those are two really strong pushes forward for any business.
Yep, exactly.
Outstanding, gotta love it. Now, one of the other things that I know you folks are always involved with is ribbon cuttings at either new businesses or businesses that maybe are kind of rebranding, refocusing, or whatever. And you've got some of that coming up as well.
Yes, we do. On the schedule coming up on 10/11, so that's just a few days from now. I'm sorry, that is next month from now.
Right.
Is that right? I'm sorry, I think that is not correct. This date is wrong on my schedule. It is actually on 9/11.
Oh, on 9/11.
Yes, it is coming up here for the veterans helping veterans.
Well, that's a perfect day for that.
It is. So that is happening. It's at 600 Highway 260. It's the Tiny's Plaza, the
Oh,
little
right, the little
strip mall
Right,
that's
right.
alongside there. That'll be happening at 11 o'clock. And the address was on there. It's unit number 10, but you'll see where we're at. So we're doing a ribbon cutting. That is such a fantastic nonprofit. We're so proud to have.
We just had one of their folks, one of their ambassadors on the show here the other day, and yeah, it sounds like they have some exciting things going on, and I don't think we can have enough things that benefit local veterans, so
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
Absolutely, yeah, they're for sure a fantastic group. And when you do join the chamber, we, as Randy says, we offer ribbon cuttings, and whether you're a new business or just popping back, you just want to get back out there. We also have mixers, which is another thing, not quite the ribbon cutting, but just to invite the community in, and we promote that, and you just want to promote yourself a little bit. As a member, these are things that are definitely available.
Well, one of the questions that comes up from that, and I hope I'm not, stepping in a hot mess here, but I try not to do that if I can help it. But I know in the past, there was different levels of membership, depending on, whether you were like a home-based business or, you were a car dealer or something like
Right.
that. There was different levels, so it made it affordable for just about everybody.
Yes, oh, absolutely. In fact, that's nice you brought that up. We didn't even talk about this, Randy.
Good, I didn't step in a hot mess. I like it, yeah.
We actually just added another level of membership at the low end,
Right.
which is for whether you're retired or you're not actually have a business, you can still join the chamber as a Friends of.
Oh, a friend of the chamber.
Of the chamber,
Oh,
and that one's just $100 for the year,
Mhm.
and then you get all of our emails and text messages, which we don't send a ton of, but
Right.
just to keep involved in what is happening in the community. You also can come to our lunches and breakfasts at the discounted member rate,
Mhm.
things like that. So just if you're still interested in business, but maybe don't have your business anymore, welcome.
Well, there's still some great opportunities to do some networking. And one of the things that I know with myself and my wife both having served on the chamber board in the past and having been involved with the chamber, one of the things that I think is just a good time to throw out a reminder there that you get out of these relationships what you put into them.
No,
And I mean, truly, as far as seizing the day, carpe diem. If you become a chamber member, you owe it to yourself to get involved in these different breakfasts and luncheons and various mixers and things, because that's really where a lot of the great networking benefits come from this. And so you need to be thinking about that proactively right up front.
absolutely, that is an excellent point. Because sometimes we get somebody that calls up, hey, what are you doing for me? And it's like, well, have you come to this? Do you do this? You do have to, it's a two-way street.
Sure.
If you come meet us there, we're gonna do everything for you, everything we can, but you have to meet us in the middle.
And things at the visitor center, I know that over the years things have changed a bit, and the town basically is, if I understand correctly, is running the visitor center now more than it used to be just the chamber, right?
Right, well, for up until like a year from August, I think it is, we have another, well, no, since July, because that's the fiscal year.
Okay.
So we're actually on a month-to-month contract with the town still. We're still running it as of right now. But it's just a transitional period. So they're still funding us every month, and then we're gonna decide kind of every month with the 60 days changes. We have 60 days heads up. We may be altering that. Maybe they may bring in an employee of their own to start transitioning and understanding what it's about. So it's just kind of going with the flow, but I think it's a good thing. It's a very good thing.
One of the things that I remember, right next door to the station here, Rim Country Barbecue, my family had that for the first 25
that's right.
years, and
I remember you telling me
ran
that.
the old Heritage House there,
Mhm.
and were quite successful with it back in those days. Been out of it now for almost another quarter century, it seems. But the one thing that really was a benefit for us is we would always have different promotional materials down at the visitor center, and we got a lot of traffic off of that. And so we made sure that we kept to-go menus and things like that stocked down there, and it paid great dividends for us. And so again, I guess I just want to say that to reiterate, you get out of the chamber what you put into it. It's more than just getting a membership. You got to put in a little bit of time to do the networking, but boy, the benefits are profound.
And specifically with restaurants, I mean, we love our restaurants and our business. When they come into the visitor center, of course, they're sending people that way, but also our events and our different things. We try to rotate through the restaurants that are our members
Mhm.
to have our meetings at. That's one way that we help to bring business to the restaurants, but also catering events. If you're a caterer, like Rim Country Barbecue now,
Right.
I mean, they've catered several of the bigger events. They can handle the bigger stuff, and some of the smaller restaurants, we try to push towards the smaller
Right.
events to what they can
A
handle.
little win-win for everybody.
Yep, we really definitely try to. And on the topic of food, one thing I forgot to mention about the expo we're real excited about as well is this year we have 4 food trucks.
Oh,
So that's going to be fun, so you can come out and eat. We have some, KRIM's going to be there
right.
playing out the music.
Have a
And
good time.
yeah, I think it's going to be a really, really fun. I mean, last year was our first year as the expo.
Mhm.
It went off really well, even though it was COVID.
Hey,
You
you had me at food truck.
Yeah, I know, right?
So what do you know off the top of your head? And I'm sorry to put
No,
this
it's
on
fine.
you, but do you know what types of food the four food trucks are going to
Well,
have?
I know My Hero is one, and I know that there was the Gila Hogs Barbecue. I
Right.
feel bad because I know I'm going to forget one. And there was the cheeseburger stand that's kind of been over there.
Right.
And
Well, that
then,
sounds good, though. I
There's
mean-
one more, and I feel bad.
Some Greek gyros, barbecue, burgers.
We're-
I mean,
yeah,
you know,
we're
that
trying to
that
get a
sounds like a
range.
little bit of something for everybody.
Yes, for sure. I think the fourth one was like a dessert, more of a desserty one.
Oh,
You know, the treats one. So.
hey, desserts can be meals too. At least the way I eat them anyway.
Well, you can just do it backwards. You start with the dessert,
There you
and
go.
then you keep going until you're
Reward
full.
yourself. So now, when it comes to, you know, someone's listening thinking, you know, this expo sounds like something I'd like to go. I mean, what a great chance to go see a whole bunch of different local businesses all in one place where you can go from booth to booth to booth and really get up to speed, whether you've you know, you've just moved to Rim Country or you've lived here forever and want to see what the latest and greatest stuff is. This is a great opportunity. Does it? What do we pay to get into this?
Oh no, it's absolutely free to the public.
Wow.
Oh yeah, no, it's just come on by. That's all. We'll have to announce next month exactly what time because I forgot that information.
It's all good though. We've got a month.
It'll be
to
in
do
the
it.
afternoon.
And
Yeah.
Coming up October 23rd, and it'll be at the high school. And well, I know in the past, I mean, there's been a lot of people involved in these things, so it really is a great chance to see a lot of different businesses. And if you have a business, whether it's, you know, a huge corporation or a small mom and pop home-based business, this is a great opportunity to get your, you know, whatever your business is, your concerns out in front of a bunch of people. And for only $100 as a business, I mean, that seems like a screaming deal.
Absolutely, and if you get our home-based business, our home-based business rate is just $150
Oh, wow.
to join the chamber, and then all the way up to our diamond members, which runs $2,500 a year. But those are that's Forest Properties, APS, Mazatzal Casino, and Sparklight.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yes, so
Sparklight. Boy, I tell you what, we have been benefiting from the increase in the bandwidth here.
I heard.
What we love.
Uh-huh.
The video news that we do used to be the upload on that when we finish editing in the morning would sometimes be as much as 20 minutes. Now I can't finish typing in the title of the file before it's already uploaded. I mean, it's night and day different.
That is awesome.
Yeah, working for me. Now, and again, the Business Expo, a lot of these people are going to be out there. A great chance for you to see a lot of different stuff that's going on around town and maybe, do a little networking. And to me, that was always one of the big benefits with the chamber anyway, of, there might be some business that needs your services and then you find out that, well, gosh, you need theirs too, and maybe we can work something out here that's, mutually beneficial. There's just a whole bunch of benefit that comes from the networking at the chamber.
For sure. I remember the first year I joined, I was in the showcase that year, and I was a new business. Well, Iron Horse has been around forever, but I had recently taken over Iron Horse, so I didn't know all those businesses. And that first year at the showcase, I made so many connections. I mean, probably 20 new people.
Well, and with your sign business, Iron Horse Signs, I mean, obviously, getting what you do in front of local businesses is really the name of the game.
Yes, for sure.
And I can't think of any better way to do it than being involved with the chamber,
For sure.
especially for the price.
Mhm.
And again, if you want to find out more about the chamber, you can always just go online to rimcountrychamber.com. I know that site's been reworked recently, and we've got a lot of
Absolutely.
great information there for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael, as far as when we talk about wealth management too, in this day and age when it comes to marketing, and the web is so important, I assume that's something that your company is got a big focus on as well.
Yeah, and just internet marketing in general. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Yep. Wildwealth.com is where our website is. I mean, pretty much everything you can read nowadays in finances is all over the internet.
Sure.
And there's a lot of things you can read. So yeah.
Well, that's one of the challenges, though, is a lot of times there's a lot of stuff you can read, and some of it's even true.
Yep.
That's
Some of it is.
Trying to sift through that sometimes can really be a challenge. But when it comes to being involved with the chamber, again, there's so many benefits, and as we were mentioning, Michael, it seems like it's one of these great things that you get out of it what you put into it. And obviously, I mean, you've only been here for a short period of time, and you're already involved in the chamber and filling in on the board. So, I mean, you obviously see the importance of that.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, my main focus was more of getting involved in the community versus promoting my business, I guess. I just figured that would come with time.
Great way to get your finger on the pulse of what's going on.
Yeah, I thought that would just happen with time. So mainly it was just getting involved up here, meeting people, obviously, getting acclimated.
Right.
I came from a small town originally, so is kind of understanding what was going on there. But yeah, it's been great. I've met a lot of great people, a lot of welcoming people, which has been awesome.
Right.
So
And
Chamber's been good for me.
That's one of the other interesting things too. You mentioned you originally came from a small town, and myself, I was born and raised in Phoenix, and so there's just a whole bunch of that living in the middle of a sea of humanity that I just grew up with, thinking that this is normal. And then 40 years ago, I moved to Payson, and it was like, wow, this is different. And the first year, I have to say, I was a little taken aback. I wasn't really sure exactly what I was experiencing, but now, very quickly, I fell in love with it, and I don't think there's any going back. This has to be kind of interesting for you, going from a small town to Phoenix to here,
Yeah.
kind of like going home again,
Yeah, I love it. That's part of why I didn't really have any hesitation on coming up here.
right?
Yeah.
And Heather mentioned that you got a little baby at home, so
Yeah.
you're starting a family up here. With us, I know one of the things that when our kids were really young, we kind of came to this realization that, I don't want to raise my kids in Phoenix in that environment that I was raised in, because even though the schools were huge, and I went to a high school that had 4,000 students and had all kinds of resources and stuff, but you kind of get lost in the mix of all of that, where we wanted to start our family up here in Payson, and I don't think there's ever been a single regret. I think it's been a perfect move, and I think more and more people are starting to get that vision too.
Yeah, mine's a little different, I guess, just because mom works down there, so she doesn't have the
Oh,
flexibility to come up as often.
right.
But hopefully,
Yeah.
if we can find affordable house up here.
Yeah, that's a big, that's a whole nother talk show right there. But there's interesting things going on. Even our police department is looking at having to build a new police station, just because of the changing dynamics and the increased demands on the police department as a result of a growing community. So it's we're all going through this at the same time, and it's got to be an interesting challenge. It's always been an interesting challenge for the chamber. I remember, golly, back in the 80s, the chamber was a much different critter than it is today, but it seems like the chamber's been able to keep their finger on the pulse of the needs of the community and have kept moving forward with it. So, and you've got a board now that seems to be, really behind the overall focus, and seems like everyone's moving in the same direction.
Yes, sir, for sure. The last few years have been so challenging for everyone, but challenges cause innovation,
Right.
and push us in new directions and better directions. We have to move as things move.
Right.
So, and sometimes that's hard, but we got to do it, and we're going to get through it.
Well, you got to roll with the punches, that's
Yes,
for
sir.
sure. And it, of course, then, in the middle of all of that, then all of a sudden we have a pandemic and this, and it's been a bunch of interesting challenges in the
Yes,
last
sir.
couple of years. But
Mhm.
the chamber's been not only handling that well, but also helping local businesses handle it. And that had to be kind of an interesting challenge too, in that when it came to the overall COVID-19 thing, there's probably a lot of businesses that are trying to figure out how they were going to get through that and everything, and the chamber can be a great resource when it comes to those kind of challenges.
Well, that was a very interesting time. We had.
I use the word interesting that way too.
Yeah.
It beats some of the other words. Yeah.
And I don't know. We really, and I'm gonna say Sean Dugan was a strong force behind this, and because when everything started to hit, and the restaurants were shut down, but there were other businesses, trades, and things like that. Where Iron Horse was one of them, where we were essential and we were busy.
Right.
So there was some business, and his liquor store was doing just fine.
Yeah. Funny how the sales of that don't seem to go down.
Yes, they went up.
Yeah.
So they.
I stay home with the family. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's it. So as we were realizing within the chamber that some businesses had extra, other businesses were way low.
Mhm.
So what we did was we asked these ones that were doing good, could you donate a little bit that we can go buy some gift cards from the restaurants here around town.
Well, there you go.
Then we had a little contest
I
where
remember
people went out shopping, brought us in their receipts from going shopping locally with masks and everything encouraged, but you have to shop. Show us that you shopped, you get a free food card, gift card
right,
for
right.
different restaurants
I
here in
thought that was
town.
very innovative.
And we threw a lot of money at those guys. Happily, and mostly through the donations. So
Right.
that was just kind of a way to filter the help.
And
You know?
Sean Dugan's a pretty sharp cookie.
He is.
Matter of fact, I've been meaning to go by and talk to him lately, but he definitely is a big picture guy.
He is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good stuff. And again, we're about out of time here, but if you want to find out more about all the different things that the Rim Country Regional Chamber of Commerce is doing, just go online to rimcountrychamber.com and you can get a bunch of your questions answered there, and there's a lot of other contact information and other stuff. And don't forget the expo coming up at the Payson High School. That'll be on October 23rd. We'll have more information on that as we get a little closer. And also, don't forget about the ribbon cutting event coming up on 9/11, and that'll be over in that little strip mall next to Mario's there at the Veterans Helping Veterans location there. That's Suite 10, I believe you said.
Yep.
Outstanding. So again, all kinds of good stuff going on at the Rim Country Regional Chamber of Commerce. Once again, thanks to Heather Oberg and Michael Obanov for being with us this morning. Thanks for coming down.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you.
You betcha. And thank you for tuning in and listening this morning to Community Spotlight on KRIM. Gonna get you back to more of your favorite music. Have some tunes coming up from Bruce Springsteen, Bob Marley, Talking Heads, and a whole bunch more. But first, a quick look at Rim Country weather.
Now with this morning's KRIM weather.
Just like that, man.
For Payson and surrounding